As we reflect on the style and structure and the roots of calypso, as we compare the eras of the past and the present, and as we look forward to tomorrow, we continue to pay tribute to the unsung heroes of calypso and give them back the dignity for their superb contribution to society. We do that through the Calypso Steel Band Music Hall of Fame. Here is researcher, historian, teacher, songwriter, calypsonian, Dr. Hollis Liverpool, known to everybody as CHALKDUST.
Ladies and gentlemen, my task is to continue the Hall of Fame that we started 4 years ago. When you hear guys like Soca Kid soaking up the place, we pay tribute to the ancestors. Because without these persons who have blazed the trail, there wouldn't be today any Soca Kid. Yeah, give them a round of applause. And so we add tonight 6 more persons to our Hall of Fame, an institutional hall. The men who fought oppression and the men who gave us victory. Today we celebrate that victory. And my first person I want to introduce to the Hall of Fame tonight is somebody who's very few people know. His name is Patrick Jones. We call him Chinese Patrick. A Chinese and mulatto descent. His family came from China. He was born in 1876. A man who took up imperialism, fought imperialism, sang against imperialism, fought with Butler, fought with Cipriani. The man who played the first masquerade mask, the devil mask in 1908. Yes, that's true. The man who helped in this early steel band organization. The man who walked with Cipriani. And some people say he was the man who even hit Butler. His name was Chinese Patrick, and he did also some singing. And he sang out against imperialism. One of his songs was in 1920, when the government had all this sort of class legislation. And what did he sing? I don't need any band, because I say, these guys didn't have that beautiful music of today. They sang with a guitar, a bass. And Chinese Patrick is singing in the 1930s. Class legislation is the order of the land. Class legislation is the order of the land. Britain boasts of democracy, brotherly love and humanity. But British colonists are in perpetual misery, sandy humanity. Tonight we introduce Chinese Patrick. Our second inductee to the Hall of Fame is a man, his name is Theophilus Phillip, better known as the Spoiler. He started in 1946, and humor was his trade. And he injected into the calypso, the politics, etc., the humor of Trinidad. People went in the tent just to hear Spoiler. He laughed at everything. And he forecasted many things. For example, he forecasted the coming of the radio. He forecasted birth control. He forecasted women police in Trinidad. Tara tells me he read comic strips all day. Gordon Rollier calls him a genius of the absurd. And he died in 1959 under strange circumstances. The man who sang "I Want to Fall" finally fell in 1959. In 1953, he won the crown, national monarch in 53, singing. Every day you wake in La Trinity, you're bound to see or hear something that funny. Every day you wake in La Trinity, you're bound to see or hear something that funny. Just imagine an Indian fella named John, bathing by the pipe, naked as he born. Well, the fella say, put on something, young man. The gentleman went and put on a tie. If we had time, I would give you a spoiler until in the morning. But the fellas behind backstage are always watching me, so we have to go very fast. The spoiler. Our third inductee is Norman Spann, the radio. And he called himself the radio because in those days hadn't any radio in the 40s, now starting. And he called himself the radio. He was the fellow, it is said, who brought into Calypso the bongs. He would start here and bounced about the place, end up right across there. No, radio. And he sang on women. Oh, women was his love. He always sang about the harem of women he had, the prostitutes, women mining him, women giving him everything. But besides women, he also sang on his mother. And he saw his mother as that shining example for all people. He sang things like Joe Louis 1947. Children, the time is growing hard. You must have heard about Matilda. Matilda was the road march in 38, 1939 and 40. 3 years. It was so good. He died in 1971. He sang for women. He sang for women. Let us put man and woman together to find out which one is smarter. Some say man, but I say no. Women ruling the men, as you know. Not me. It's the people who say that the men ruling the women astray. But I say that the women of today smarter than man in every way. I know they like that. That's the man's opinion. You see how great Calypso was long ago? But since you like radio, I'll create the opportunity to ask the producers to give me two more seconds to give you this one. You must sing this one. Everybody. Matilda, 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 she take me money and run Venezuela. Everybody. Beautiful. Norman Spann. And then there was Lord and Lady Iere, who came together. And Lord Iere told me personally that he came together because when he began to sing Calypso in 1942, first time on the stage, he was no good and they jeered him down. So he went for his wife. His wife was also a singer. And both of them teamed up together, Lord and Lady Iere. She sang in 1942, The Jollification of the United Nations. Name of a song, is he big word? Both of them sang Calypso like Ice Cream Block. And one of the things he told me, and I'll never forget this, he told me that in those days, a Calypsonian was a dog. A Calypsonian was a dog. He also told me, in Calypso, lyrics is Calypso. You can't see a man on a record. When the Calypso Theatre started in 1966, he was given the honor of opening the Calypso Theatre. He died in 1974. I'm going to give you just two verses quickly, one from Lady Iere and one from Lord Iere. Lady Iere goes like this. The men in the town, I find their blooming eyes is too long. The men in the town, I find their blooming eyes is too long. You got to love me or leave me or live with Miss Dorothy. The time is too hard for me to mind a man that is bad. And Lord Iere, I went down Donkey City, circumcise me body, meet a donkey carrying with a mule. And the mule said to the donkey, Saga boy, don't carry behind me. Donkey, whoa, back mule, don't tear up my junior commando. And it's sweet like honey, and you get it already. Donkey, whoa, don't tear up my junior commando. You hear how they used to sing smart long ago? Hear what they're singing today? Suck me, Sukoya, suck me. Our fourth is that indefatigable musician, Frankie Francis. Playing music since the 1940s. He went to Berkeley, graduated from Berkeley. He played with Arthur de Coteau, he played with Rupert Clemendor, Burt McLean, Cecil Fitzvaughan Bryan, you name them, Frankie played with them. But the greatness of Frankie is that while many men went out overseas to seek greener shores and green papers, Frankie stayed at home with the Calypsonians. So tonight we are proud to introduce tonight to the Hall of Fame. We call him Sir Frankie Francis. Last but not least, in the field of steel band, and don't think we are trying to give more calypso than steel band. After all, the calypso is from Africa, you know. And we are talking about thousands and thousands of years. Not from France, as some people say.